Amend the Mass Media Group is California Capital's premier YouTube channel focused on reparations, dedicated to political advocacy and apologetically aimed at shining a spotlight on our righteous justice claim for reparations.
The way that they handcuffed me was in the front, so when they did drop me down there, I could, kind of be like this and get that was the question for my defense team. They're saying I was throwing things at them and doing all this, but my hands look nothing like my legs. My hands are clear. My hands look very good, other than this that they did on their own, but they're definitely not burnt in any way, shape, or form. Now, if you look at my leg here, you can see, I don't know if you got that, but you can see that is burnt down to the core. You follow me? That is burnt down to the core, going down my leg and all the way down my foot to the bone, ripped nails out, my toenails out, just so much stuff, it's hard to go through it again, just to, even to really talk about it. It's traumatic for me, but it needs to be said, because if they can get away with this, if they can do this to somebody and get rid of all the cameras and don't, investigate it, it's unreal to me. I mean, where do you go for sanctuary or help? If I can't go to, I didn't even tell you the part. I mean, it was literally highway robbery, man. They stole some very important things, aside from, some cell phones. You can get those again. But one of the cell phones may have been recording in the car. So they had taken that evidence. They also took some very important, Black Panther comics, the original ones from the first, the ones that say 15 cents on them. That came from the 1940s and 50s, which were, at this point, after Chadwick Boseman's death, were worth in the hundreds of thousands. I had the whole series. Those are gone. Those are all gone. But they did take pictures of them in the car. So, whose kids on the police force are reading those now? Who's getting that value? That was something I wanted to pass on to the next generation, or even take to the kids in Liberia, so they'd have some things, to put in, a library sense that they could read and enjoy, and it was theirs, and it was mine, and it had value. They took all my work tools. They took a work hammer. They took a Boy Scout knife, which my father gave me. You can't even make them like that, made out of real materials. You can't even make them like that anymore. So that was priceless to me. Now, they did actually leave, because I'm pretty sure they didn't notice, but I had an autographed Willie McCovey Louisville Slugger in the car. They didn't take that, probably because they thought it was just a regular old bat, but that's probably worth more money than most of the other things. And so, and at least in sentimental value to me. Well, this is the first time, let's just be clear, this is the first time I've had a chance to speak to anyone about any of this since it happened. So imagine I'm just going back and forth to court. They just keep on telling you, hey, we'll see you next time, or keep continuing it. I mean, you guys, like I said, you're the real new black media, some independent media, and I have all the love in the world for you. You are the new black media. You're the only one down here covering this case. Nobody else cares. You know, it's costing me an arm and a leg. It's hurting me in a lot of ways financially. It's hurting my relationships. You know, but in God be the glory, and I'm gonna come out on top in the end. I'm sure of it.
According to this document here, it said, while waiting for a residence check from GGCC, don't know what that is, I observed a black male adult, later identified as a registered owner Smith, walking north on the right shoulder in my direction. Okay? Smith was walking on the solid white line which separated the shoulder from the traffic lines, with a black jacket over his shoulder. I tried to communicate with Smith to move away from traffic for his safety. When Smith got to within approximately 30 feet of me, Smith simultaneously stepped into the far right lane of traffic, threw his jacket to the ground, and stated, "This is how I'm going to die today." This is according to this document.
This how I was gonna die today. Okay.
So let's unpack this. Okay, let's unpack this. So first of all, you mentioned that you tapped.
I touched the officer. Yes, I definitely touched the officer. I said, "Excuse me, sir." You know, as my mother had raised me to be a gentleman. "Excuse me, sir." That's exactly what I said to the officer.
So, according to this document, were you?
No, explain it. No, I want you to see you're confused because he says he put a cuff on me. But if I went into the, first of all, he says,
understand from his point of view.
Let's see it.
Because if you're walking according to him, but you're saying you tapped him on the shoulder.
That's exactly what I did. But listen, let's go with his story for now, so you can try to understand it. Okay, go ahead. So you can try to fathom it.
Yeah. So you tapped him on the shoulder, but according to this document, he saw you already.
Okay.
Walking 30 feet towards him.
Impossible, but okay. And that's why we need the footage from his car, because that will show that he was directing traffic. No officer's looking back when you've got cars racing down the freeway at 70, 80 miles an hour. It's not even a probable scenario. But let's take him at his word. He saw me. And also, I'd like to note that even in his lies, he's saying that I was walking with my jacket over my shoulder. That is no menacing or threatening position. That's someone who's relaxing. You know, that's someone who's relaxing. When you put your jacket over your shoulder and I got to walk to the gas station, I got to walk back to my car and get, my wallet so I can walk back to the gas station again. That's pretty much what that is. You know, when you that's not a menacing thing to have your jacket over your shoulder.
And did you say, "This is how I'm going to die today"?
Definitely not. Me and my lawyer laugh about that because I always say, listen, you don't believe that, right? That this how I was gonna die today because I ran out of gas. For real. Driving a Range Rover, 5 exits from the house, So, listen, I mean, I'm just hoping people use logic here, and that'll get us a long way. I'm really hoping that people will use logic. And no, I never said that. Never would say anything like that. For what?